Hello, I'm the nostalgia critic guy, remember? So you don't have to. That'll do, pig. That'll do. Okay, stop! So I'll be honest, I don't know what the current reaction to the 2006 release of Charlotte's Web is. Maybe a younger generation has grown up with this movie and loved it, maybe they grew up with it and hated it. But at the time it came out, everyone I knew had the same reaction, which was, meh. Nobody said it was a bad movie, but nobody had the same reaction they did to the original E.B. White story or 1973 cartoon. Now most of us see the original book as a classic, but we're going to be totally honest, the cartoon is a little corny.
Zooey, what do you see? The greatest hog in history.
Maybe a little bit corny. But it's corny in a way that's simple and genuine. It isn't trying to give you an emotional powerhouse, it's trying to give you a small story that slowly sneaks in its emotional moments without you even realizing it, similar to the book. The movie really doesn't do that. It's all too aware this is a beloved children's classic, so it tries way too hard to give you a beloved children's classic, as opposed to just giving you a good story. But it's got a decent heart, doesn't play too much to what kids found popular at the time, and who knows, maybe kids did connect to the constantly emotional storytelling as, well, kids are constantly emotional. Either way, I'm gonna go back and see if this film captures any of the charm of the original story, or if it's just overprocessed sausage. Almost 20 years later, let's take a look back at the adorable Charlotte's Web. As the credits roll, taken from the illustrations of the book, we get narration from Sam Shepard.
There was nothing special about Somerset County. It was a deeply ordinary place.
Hence why my enthusiasm is at Costner levels. Who talks about a spring when everything became different.
A little girl did something that would change everything.
She survived the Cat in the Hat movie. There's medals for that, you know. That is Dakota Fanning as a farm girl named Fern, who witnesses the birth of a litter of pigs. And might witness the execution of one, too.
What are you doing?
Go back to bed.
You're not gonna kill it, are you?
Well, let me tell you where most of the meat and chicken McNuggets comes from.
No, it's not fair. Can't help being born small.
Careful.
If I'd been born small, would you have killed me?
How'd you know your mother and I had that talk? Oh, of course not, honey. Yeah. Fern says she'll take care of the pig, leading to an edit I'm not sure is meant to be funny or not.
Absolutely will not let you kill him.
Well, she lost that argument. But when she found out how delicious Wilbur was, she asked if their baby calf could be next.
Fern was up before dawn, ridding the world of injustice.
She does end up calling the pig Wilbur, and this is where Fanning's maybe too grown-up acting works against the film. See, she's supposed to like the pig so much, she sneaks him into school. I can see a kid who doesn't know any better doing that, but when that kid acts and talks like this...
If I'd been born small, would you have killed me? There's no difference. How could you be so heartless? This is unfair and unjust.
Could you really see that same kid doing this and thinking she'd get away with it? Now, she was playing Coraline. She'd probably brag about having her future science experiment.
Fern, what's going on?
Ha! I knew our desk needed an exorcist! I wasn't just sniffing too much Elmer glue. Wilbur also starts to get too big, so he's given to her uncle who owns a farm across the street.
Pigs are smart.
Pigs are not smart.
Apparently, they're as intelligent as dolphins. Advantage, dolphin.
Okay, so admittedly the casting in this is really good. Even Fanning with a little better direction, I feel like could have pulled this off fine. She's played similar parts before. But it's a strange problem with the movie. The casting's almost too good. There's people like Kathy Bates, Thomas Hayden Church, John Cleese, Robert Redford. All these powerhouse actors perfectly chosen for Charlotte's Web, except it's Nickelodeon's Charlotte's Web. Which means it's gonna try really hard to be funny at times. And when it wants to be funny, it's very disjointed, overscored, and immature, which honestly is fine for a lot of Nickelodeon productions. But for a story this good and a cast this good, it comes across as pretty awkward. Part of that might be they do have to work around the animals' movements, so it looks like they're reacting to what's going on, and yeah, I'm sure that's hard to do on what I'm sure was a tight shoot, so there's a lot of heavy editing whenever they talk, which makes it tricky for us to get into the moment because there's always an edit every few seconds.
You grow hair.
Grow hair! Good one! Excuse me.
Is that your contribution to society?
Also, while most of the casting is pretty good, Cedric the Entertainer as a goose is really weird.
Hey kid, what's going on over here? You need something snappy, like Pig Supreme.
Oprah Winfrey plays the other goose, and she's fine, but everybody has a farm-type voice. Even John Cleese, you could sort of connect to an old British farm, though what the hell is an English sheep doing in Maine? And Cedric the Entertainer just doesn't match that at all. It'd be like having Maggie Smith on In Living Color. Some things just don't go.
That spider can talk. Because what's good for the goose is good for the gander.
Do you understand the words that are coming out of my bill? Oh wait, they did that joke in Doolittle. And we all knew that film pulled it off great.
I think I'd better stay here. Fern's gonna be back soon anyway.
It's also interesting that they keep the same young voice for Wilbur throughout the film, even though he is supposed to grow up a bit. But A, it does make sense kids would relate to a character that sounds more like them than, well, Henry Gibson. And B, babe. Big hit, big hit. We want something that's like that big hit.
Hi there.
The film isn't all fast edits, so it does take moments to slow down and let us know some of these animals. Steve Buscemi plays Templeton. Again, pretty ideal casting. And while the CG most of the time doesn't look like he's really there, he moves like he's really there, getting down the believable twitches a rat usually has while not distracting from what he's saying. Surprisingly, if anything, it plays more into it.
For your information, pig, we were here long before your kind and we'll be here long after.
We character actors practically built the entertainment industry!
I'm expecting you to finish your homework and go straight to bed.
But Mom, I always tell him goodnight.
We spend so much money keying this from day to night and dubbing in that good night line. It'd be a shame to let it go to waste.
Good night.
Wilbur feels bad for not being told goodnight, but a voice calms him down, saying if he goes to sleep, she'll show who she is in the morning. And this, of course, is a spider named Charlotte, and...
Well, still want to chat?
By God, they're trying. Okay, so it's clear you can't go the human face route like in the cartoon, because that'd be even more creepy. So you either guys shoot this thing from a distance, like let the voice work do all the heavy lifting, or you have to give an amazing design that'll win everybody over. Yes, the animals say she's ugly, but they're clearly trying to make her look cute. And yeah, it's hard to make a spider look cute. Even that Lucas the spider, who was originally designed to be cute and make people less afraid of spiders, still pretty damn disturbing. And while this is nowhere near the creepiest spider anyone's seen, it reminds me of that Simpsons where Homer suddenly wants to keep a lobster as a pet because he sees him as cute while no one else does. I feel like this is what the filmmakers saw, and this is what half the audience saw. It's a valiant attempt, but I don't think any kids bought any dress-up spider dolls after this.
You have all your meals brought to you in a pail. I don't get that kind of royal treatment.
Also, if you've watched my channel, you know I'm not the biggest Julia Roberts fan, and I think picking her shows even more how too self-aware this film might have been, choosing who everybody called America's sweetheart at the time to play the role. Similar to how Tom Hanks plays Mr. Rogers or Geppetto or Walt Disney to a point where it's kinda distracting. But I have seen her good in stuff, even in voice acting. And this is... unoffendable.
And have my beauty steal the show? Now go on and show them what a radiant pig can do.
Much like Mary Poppins, you need someone that can have a simple, loving demeanor that kids can connect to, but an elegant yet firm directness that shows she knows how the world works and can be very wise. It's trickier than it sounds, and yes, Debbie Reynolds nails it in the 73 version. Roberts tries and sometimes gets it down, but she's more like a nice neighbor than eloquent wise woman.
I think now is the time for me to say, salutations.
I don't for a minute believe she would ever say that. And when the character that introduced that word to most of us can't make it sound convincing, that's a huge problem. But she does have more interest than our dear narrator.
There's an old expression that says that ignorance is bliss, and I'm inclined to believe it's true.
Like when I asked the director, how am I doing? And he said, fantastic, lots of personality. Bliss. Time passes as the goose hatches her eggs, but one of them goes rotten. So Templeton takes it.
Exactly.
Okay, I know this is a really stupid thing to focus on, but excellent makes a lot more sense. Nobody would look at that situation and say exactly, they say excellent. It's not funny either way, and unless you're Vincent Price, you can't make it funny, but you can be consistent! Anyway, this joke's much better when he sees Wilbur's got a big day coming to him next Christmas.
They're saving him for Christmas.
What's Christmas?
The day you'll be cured.
Now that's a mean-spirited pun done right!
Typical rat.
What? You gonna lie to the future football here?
Even in a lesser version, Templeton's still the best. Charlotte says she'll find a way to save him the same way he saved her from Fern's brother, so she weaves a web blowing the farmers away. I prefer the version where Charlotte has a real sick sense of humor. The whole town is blown away by what they see.
It's a miracle.
And I know I've seen some weird shit on this farm. But after a few weeks, the interest dies down.
I just have to get the right word written. Something that makes Wilbur so special that Zuckerman will never think about killing him again.
What gets attention on the web? How about science proves, but I say...
How about extra crispy?
How about?
Ah yes, we all remember that line from the great E.B. White. And then the cow farted, knocking the rat on his ass. Newbery Award well earned. They figure out other words to use, once again getting the town's attention. Fern's mother keeps seeing the doctor, played by Bo Bridges, who's about as sensible as his character in The Wizard.
Think that animals can talk.
I don't know. Maybe an animal said something to me and I didn't hear it because I wasn't paying attention.
Cute. But seriously, Ritalin?
Everyone is saying it's some kind of miracle, but...
But what? The web itself is a miracle.
I'm starting to question your degree as a doctor in... whimsy? There's a school for that? They send Templeton out to find more words Charlotte can put on her web, as we cut to two crows played by Thomas Hayden Church and Andre 3000. How did I miss there's a person out there with that name? Doing a pretty pointless but pretty funny routine about always seeing the same guy in every field.
How can he be in every cornfield? He is following us.
I hate that guy.
Unless a spider writes something nice above his head, in which case I find him amazing. Templeton finds more words and Charlotte again spins her web, convincing the farmer to enter Wilbur in the town's fair. Sadly, Charlotte won't be going with, though.
I'm just not up to traveling at the moment.
Why not?
Because I'm expecting.
They bathe Wilbur in buttermilk.
I've had this dream.
That ain't right. That ain't right.
But once again, Charlotte hears Wilbur could still be in an IHOP's menu, so she tags along to help him out, bringing Templeton with her.
Have you heard that good things come to those who wait?
No, good things come to those who find it and shove it in their mouth.
Is nobody else hearing this? Fern sees a boy she likes from her class, and they seem to hit it off.
Fern up there? Oh, wait. She's with a boy. She is. She's with a boy.
Dear, you can say it. This is surprising for a number of reasons.
I don't know what this is, but I love it!
Typical State Fair food. Templeton finds more words for Charlotte. You know, for someone who says salutation, she sure is limited in her vocabulary. And she once again weaves her magic. However, it looks like the pig next to them already won the blue ribbon.
It's not fair.
Look on the bright side, sweetie. Remember that bone china tea set you always wanted? But it turns out the judges saw the web last night, so they put together a special presentation to award Wilbur an even bigger honor.
This handsome medal, a token of our amazement and our appreciation.
We only give this to soldiers who served in Nam and pigs. When Wilbur gets back, he sees that Charlotte has finally given birth.
This is my magnum opus.
What's a magnet opus?
Look, kid, I'm dying. Can you give me one moment deprived of idiocy?
You did it all.
My webs were no miracle, Wilbur. I was only describing what I saw.
Through stolen words. This really is the web. Wilbur doesn't know what to do, so he asks Templeton to bring Charlotte's eggs.
Thank you, Templeton, for everything.
I never know what to make of him nodding to her. Like, I get it, he sees she's dying and it finally gets to him, but I would have liked it more if he either didn't know how to feel or if he just gave a nod so fast it could have been mistaken for a twitch. The slow-mo just seems like a little much. I mean, this dude was literally about to let hundreds of babies die unless Wilbur bribed him.
Who got his hindquarters pecked to make you radiant, huh?
Do it and you'll get dibs on my slot for the rest of my life.
Done. Happy now, asshole? What's with you people?
Don't worry, Charlotte. They'll come out in a day or two. She passes away and Wilbur finds himself back at home swearing to look after the eggs. When they finally hatch, though, they literally take off.
Please don't go. Wait!
Not even promising to call or thank him for all the time he spent raising them. Why don't you keep in touch, Chaplin and Buster in the other room?
We like to stay. We like it here.
However, 3 babies stay behind.
What are your names?
We don't know. We're minutes old. Not too bright, is he? We're gonna die if he raises us. I'm already coping with that.
All because someone stopped to see the grace and beauty and nobility of the humblest creature.
The little girl I mentioned in the beginning. Oh wait, I mean the spider. Wait, we kind of go back and forth on who's the lone hero here.
That we're all here because a determined little girl.
You did it all.
I was only describing what I saw.
A little girl did something that would change everything. It is not often that someone comes along who's a true friend and a good writer. Charlotte was both.
Maybe we should have said it was a collective effort. But we didn't. We started off saying it was a kid, but then ended by saying it was the spider. The kid doesn't even show up for the ending. Oh well. Again, not cat in the hat. And we can all thank Jesus for that. And that was Charlotte's Web. It's good, but it should have been great. On the one hand, this can't be an easy live-action film to bring to the big screen. Directing animals and working with producers that no doubt wanted a good kids movie, but also clearly wanted to make money must have been difficult. But if you were told this is based on one of the great children's books, you'd know something was a little lost in translation. However, as I mentioned earlier, it might not be as lost on kids who grew up with it. I could see children watching this and finding it good enough that it introduces them to the book. And it certainly has good intentions and enough of an understanding of what makes the story so memorable. It's just not the masterpiece the film deserves to be. But it's not a lost cause either. I guess I'm still a little all over the place with it. I still stand by the 73 version is better if you can just get past some of the goofier moments. But for a film that honestly does have a lot to live up to, I'm sure there's a lot of people out there who still look back and call it some flick. I'm the Nostalgia Critic guy, remember, so you don't have to.
Good things come to those who find it and shove it in their mouth.